The apocalyptic sands stirred up the dust. The zombie emperor slowly donned his jet black mask. His pet white tiger let out a roar that shook the wasteland. As the zombie emperor raised the spear in his hand, countless zombies crawled out from the ruins in an instant, all charging toward the city ahead. The fully awakened undead army was about to bring utter devastation to the once glamorous Las Vegas. Unaware of the danger, the man was engrossed in playing a slot machine. The moment he hit the jackpot, hordes of zombies swarmed in. The clinking of coins mixed with the sounds of tearing flesh, creating a hellish symphony of gold and death. Endless waves of people were swiftly turned into zombies. Screams, gunfire, and exploding cars echoed relentlessly through the streets. The glittering city instantly became a living hell. By the time the government realized what was happening, it was already too late. Even with planes bombing the city, the exponentially growing zombie numbers left the military in despair. Waiting for rescue was no different from waiting to die. Some survivors decided to take matters into their own hands. They grabbed their weapons and fought back desperately against the zombies, even attempting to save the vulnerable women and children. But to contain the zombie outbreak, the government surrounded the city with countless shipping containers, sacrificing Las Vegas to secure temporary safety for those outside. Enclosed within the barriers, Las Vegas naturally became the kingdom of zombies. Ward was among the few who had managed to escape. Afterward, he took up work as a chef in a restaurant. Soon, the government announced plans to drop a nuclear bomb on Las Vegas in 4 days. Ward thought the nightmare was finally over, but a mysterious visitor shattered that illusion. The man Tanaka knew about Ward's skills. He wanted Ward to form a team to retrieve $200 million from Las Vegas's underground vault. Of course, Ward would get $50 million as his cut. The offer was tempting. He and his daughter had been surviving together in the quarantine zone. To escape to a better life, he needed money to bribe the guards. Ward could endure hardship, but he didn't want his daughter to suffer alongside him. When the zombie outbreak first hit, Ward had killed his zombified wife in front of his daughter. That horrific scene remained a haunting nightmare for both of them. Now, if he could get this reward, Ward could leave the zone and make things right for his daughter. Yet he knew deep down that this mission would not be as simple as it seemed. But for his daughter, Ward decided to take the risk. He immediately began gathering a team. First, he found his old friends Maria and Vandro. Both had survived the initial chaos of the city. They quickly agreed to join Ward's plan. Next, Ward recruited a pilot and a locksmith, as well as the outlaw Mackie and his girlfriend. And just like that, the team was assembled. Drawn by the promise of $50 million, they gathered before Tanaka. Tanaka carefully outlined the requirements of the mission. First, they had to break through the zombie blockade to reach the casino, then restore power and locate the vault. The locksmith's job was to unlock the vault. The pilot would repair a rooftop aircraft for their extraction. The rest just had to load the cash quickly and escape via the helicopter. They listened in silence as Tanaka explained the entire plan. As they were about to leave, Tanaka's bodyguard Martin unexpectedly announced he would join the mission. They were taken aback but didn't object. With the plan laid out in detail, Ward led the team to their guide, Lily. Meanwhile, Ward's daughter, Kate, noticing a friend had gone missing, suspected that the friend had ventured into the city. Lily insisted on joining the team to rescue her. Before leaving, Lily spent $20,000 to hire a soldier. Kate was immediately wary of him, as the soldier had been harassing women in the quarantine zone. He even spoke rudely to Kate, and his lecherous demeanor disgusted everyone else. No one understood why Lily had brought him along. Still, they didn't question her and set off. They entered the city through a shipping container. Before them lay piles of zombie skeletons. Their expressions immediately grew grim, but not far in, they heard a tiger's roar. They quickly ducked for cover. A zombified white tiger appeared right in front of them, but it didn't attack. Instead, it turned and walked away. Just as everyone exhaled in relief, Lily's face grew serious. She turned to the soldier and shot him down. It turned out Lily had always known about his misdeeds in the quarantine zone. She intended to offer him to the zombie queen to secure safe passage for the rest of the team on the outskirts. Everyone had witnessed the soldier's behavior firsthand, so no one stepped in to save him. The next moment, the zombie queen and her minions arrived. Just as Lily had planned, the queen had her minions take the sacrifice but spared the rest of the team. They seized the opportunity to push forward. Unbeknownst to them, the zombie queen was watching everything closely. Soon, the soldier was dragged into the zombie's lair. The zombie emperor first showed closeness to the queen, then crouched down, pressing his ear against her abdomen. It turned out they were nurturing new life. After taking the first bite, he tossed the soldier into the pit to be devoured by the other zombies. Meanwhile, Ward and his team reached the zombies' resting ground. To avoid waking them, Ward marked the path with glow sticks, and the group followed cautiously. Mackie's girlfriend, suspicious of Martin's motives, refused to walk ahead of him. Martin, holding a grudge against her vigilance, deliberately tossed a glow stick toward a dead end. The unsuspecting woman had to dodge carefully, but accidentally brushed against a zombie. With no other choice, she quietly killed the awakened zombie. But she didn't notice that the last zombie's arm knocked a tray. The tray slid slowly down. The crash sounded like a thunderclap, instantly shattering the silence. All the zombies were awakened. Hearing gunfire, Ward and the others were forced to return fire. The zombies surged toward the woman like a tidal wave, quickly surrounding her. Worse, Martin had locked the exit ahead. With no escape route, she smashed through glass in a desperate bid for survival. But the sheer number of zombies was overwhelming. In the end, she was swallowed by the horde. Mackie looked at his bitten girlfriend and tearfully shot the fuel tank behind her. After countless obstacles, the group finally reached the casino. With little time left, Ward quickly assigned tasks. Maria was tasked with escorting the pilot to the rooftop to repair and refuel the aircraft. Ward and his daughter Kate headed to the third floor to fuel the generators and flip the switch to restore power to the casino. At the moment the power came back, Vandro and the others reached the underground vault. After clearing a few zombies at the vault entrance, they prepared to open it, but Martin, claiming to stay vigilant, took Lily outside. There they encountered the zombie queen and her minions again. Both immediately became alert. Martin struck first, hitting the queen with a restraint dart. Her minions lunged at Martin in response. As Martin struggled to hold them off, Lily seized the moment and shot down one of the minions. Once freed, Martin turned his attention to the restrained queen. Lily assumed he just wanted to study her, but he shockingly decapitated her. Only then did Lily realize the truth. Tanaka hadn't sent him for money at all. It was for zombie blood. The officials intended to create a controllable zombie army. Lily watched in silence, stunned by the scene. Meanwhile, the zombie emperor had already heard the queen's screams. At the vault entrance, the locksmith carefully studied the pressure traps. Vandro tied up a zombie and sent it forward to test the traps. The first trap was just a set of darts, manageable for the three of them. The second trap, however, triggered multiple gun barrels from the walls. The locksmith flinched in shock. Had it been a person, they likely wouldn't have survived. Just when they thought the traps were over, the walls on either side suddenly slammed toward the center. Mackie immediately backed up. Vandro and the locksmith pushed the walls aside. They were finally ready to tackle the vault's combination. Upstairs, the rest of the team overheard a news report. The government planned to drop the nuclear bomb a day earlier. This left them only 90 minutes to complete their mission. They had to prepare for a swift extraction. Ward called the pilot to relay the urgent update. The pilot assured him the aircraft would be ready soon. He urged the team to open the vault quickly. Ward led everyone to the underground vault. Unintentionally, he distracted the locksmith. Locksmithing required his full concentration. After venting his frustration at Ward, he stated he'd need 30 minutes to unlock the vault. The team decided to take a short rest in the meantime. Outside, the zombie emperor discovered the queen's corpse. He leaned down, pressing his ear to her abdomen. Then he let out an enraged roar. The zombie emperor carried the queen's body back to the lair. He extracted the fetus himself, only to find it lifeless within seconds. A deep, guttural roar escaped his throat. Grief and rage condensed into a single tear at the corner of his eye. He vowed that these humans would pay. With a roar from the zombie white tiger, zombies began gathering from all directions. The zombie emperor raised his blood-stained spear. Standing atop the scorched, broken ground, his gaze locked on the casino where the team was located. Countless zombies surged instantly toward the casino. Meanwhile, the locksmith finally cracked open the vault door. Stacks upon stacks of cash came into view. The team was so thrilled they could barely breathe. Sweat and blood mingled, but all that remained were smiles. Just as they were basking in the joy of victory, Ward suddenly realized his daughter was missing. Thinking that she had gone to save a friend, he became frantic with worry. It was Maria who calmed him down, and she prepared to search for Kate alongside him. But as soon as the elevator doors opened, the zombie emperor's army surged in. Unprepared, Maria was killed instantly. Ward went into a frenzied gunfire, but he noticed these zombies were far more advanced than the low-level ones before. They could dodge attacks with alarming agility. The loss of his friend and the fading of a subtle affection turned Ward into a cornered beast. He unleashed all his strength, venting his grief and rage with brutal force, but there was no time to mourn. They had to leave immediately. Vandro and the locksmith, however, delayed them while loading cash. Suddenly, a noise came from the elevator entrance. In the blink of an eye, they saw the approaching zombie emperor. Their ammunition ran out quickly. In desperation, Vandro decided to fight the emperor hand-to-hand, but their strengths were on completely different levels. The emperor overpowered Vandro effortlessly, even sending him flying with a single blow. As Vandro neared death, the locksmith bravely stepped in. He shoved Vandro into the vault, leaving himself to face the emperor outside. Meanwhile, the others prepared to escape through the ventilation ducts. Martin left first and locked the exit, completely indifferent to the others' safety. Lily, frustrated and helpless, had no choice but to find another way. Martin thought he was in the clear once outside, unaware that Lily had already swapped the queen's head. Then, a tiger's roar came from behind him. The zombie white tiger leapt straight at Martin, until he was utterly lifeless. At the same time, Lily and the others sawed through a wall with a chainsaw. They passed the casino once more, only to face countless zombies. The sheer number of zombies left them in despair. Outgunned and outnumbered, the three could only fight while retreating. Mackie's money bag was ripped open, sending bills flying everywhere. He was also knocked to the ground by zombies. Seeing he had been bitten, Mackie's fear turned into acceptance. The next second, he pulled the pin on a grenade without hesitation. Ward and Lily took the chance to escape to the rooftop, but the zombie emperor was right behind them. Lily used the queen's head to threaten the emperor, allowing Ward to board the helicopter and escape. But as the helicopter lifted off, the emperor pinned Lily against the wall in an instant. She then hurled the queen's head down the building, destroying the emperor's last shred of hope. Ward instructed the pilot to land the helicopter at the zombie lair, because he still had to find his daughter. By now, his daughter had found her friend, but when she turned, she saw the zombie emperor chasing them. The two ran for their lives. Luckily, Ward arrived just in time, saving them. The three quickly climbed climbed to the rooftop. As they boarded the helicopter, the zombie emperor leapt after them. He jumped onto the helicopter in a single bound, throwing it off balance and scraping dangerously along the building. Fortunately, the pilot's skill kept them from crashing immediately. He managed to dodge the buildings by a hair's breadth. Ward intended to shoot the emperor, but accidentally injured the pilot in the struggle. The pilot gritted his teeth and flew them out of the city. Meanwhile, the nuclear bomb was approaching, visible to the naked eye. Kate watched her father fight with all his might. She grabbed a fire extinguisher and swung it at the emperor, but Ward was bitten in the process. Soon, the bomb detonated behind them. The intense flash blinded them all. Ward summoned his last strength and fired a deadly shot at the emperor. The bomb's shockwaves surged toward the helicopter. No matter how the pilot maneuvered, it was futile. The helicopter crashed mercilessly to the ground. Kate was the first to regain consciousness. The surroundings were silent, with only her father clinging to life. After giving Kate the last of their cash, Ward underwent a horrifying mutation. Tears streaming, Kate aimed her gun at her father. The air was thick with smoke and the smell of blood. Her ears buzzed from the chaos. From that moment on, she had no family left. Soon, a rescue helicopter spotted her. Amid the smoke-filled ruins, Vandro, hiding in the vault, had miraculously survived. He arrived at an airport with the cash from the vault, successfully renting a private plane. But just as he raised his glass to celebrate his success, he suddenly felt dizzy and nearly collapsed. Vandro immediately realized something was wrong. He rushed into the bathroom. Lifting his shirt, he saw a clear bite mark on his arm. And that's where the film ends. But as the plane approached Mexico, a new nightmare was about to begin.